All right, next we're gonna bring our next picture in. We're gonna get it to fit in this space. So I'm gonna give you some tips on how to do that. We're gonna work with masking. All right, so we're gonna go to File and Open in Place. And then you're gonna choose the tree. And once again, when we put it in here, it'll be really big. So we've got the tree picture in. It's gonna be really big. We're gonna start by holding Shift once again so we don't distort it. And just getting it, we could get it to the height of the picture we already have, but we don't know how much of it we're actually gonna use. So let's just keep it a little bit bigger and press Enter. All right, now going to the Move tool, letter V. What we want to do with this is we don't really need to show, we could show the chairlift if that added to the story that we had. In this case, we're just going to do the trees because it's just going to be a close-up of the trees. And it's going to just show us a little bit more about that space. It'll add some texture. So that's why it'll create some repetition. We've got trees over here, so now it'll be a close-up of trees over here. So in order to get this to fit in correctly, what we need to do is we're going to take the visibility off for this picture so we can get the space, the correct space for where it's going to be filled. So we're going to go to the eye right here. That's the visibility. Take that off. All right, then we're going to define the space or the area for this picture to go in. So we're going to go over to the left side and we're going to choose the rectangle select tool or the rectangular select tool. Then the crosshairs is where this is going to start. So we want to line up the crosshairs so that the bottom of the one horizontal one is lined up with our other picture. And then we want to give a little space. There should be a small white border in between there. It should be very small, like almost just slightly visible. If it's too big, then it grabs too much attention. But then it creates just a visual separation for our pictures. Then we're going to click and drag, and we're going to bring that down and align that on the top or on the bottom. It's a little bit tall on the top. So yeah, it's just a little bit tall right there, but we're going to try it and I'll show you how you can change that later. All right, so we've defined the space. Turn on the eye. Now we can see our picture in there. And then we want to make sure we're clicked on this layer. We're going to go to the bottom and we're going to choose mask. Okay, so what that does is that masks out any part of the picture that was not in that rectangle. And then it fits the space, which is super cool. Now, when you do this, your photos might not line up correctly. You might want to change some sizes of things. So first thing we'll do is we're going to make sure we're clicked on the mask and we're going to do a scale if you need to. You might not need to. Like if yours aligned correctly, then you might not need to do a scale. But I can change. So what I'm going to do is we're going to unlink the picture and the mask right now by clicking on the link. We're going to make sure if you're changing the size of just the mask, then you would make sure you have that dotted line going around the mask, and then you would do edit, transform, scale, and then I could come in and I'm just going to change the size. So I can move this a lot or a little, and you can see it's not changing my picture at all. It's just how much we see of it, not the actual scale of the picture because they're not linked right now. And then what I can do is resize this and press enter. And then I'm going to go back to the move tool. So go ahead and do the move tool. And then this time we're going to click on the pixels, so the picture. And with the move tool, we can move it around. So we just want to really see the trees. So we're going to make this a little bit bigger. If you're seeing like the chairlift and in there, let's make it a little bigger. So edit, transform, scale. We're going to show the top of the trees because there's some cool texture and shape there, but a little less of the bottom of the tree. So we'll make this a little bit bigger and press enter to confirm that transform. Once again, make sure you're on the move tool so that we can move this picture around. And we can show a little bit of the chairlift in there as well to kind of show the space where this person's at. All right, once we've done that, do make sure that you link those back together. And then we could do the same thing here. We could come with a clone stamp and clone stamp some of those lines out. It might look weird if you have the chairlift, if you're showing the chairlift, to take those lines out. So don't take it out if you're showing the chairlift. So this is the idea of what we want it to look like. Okay, then we're going to do some adjustments. Now we can automatically see that the value on the one on the right and the value on the one on the left are different. This is much more, it's darker, hazier. So we're going to do something special. We'll use a clipping mask for when we're editing these. So let's